What's going on, everyone? So we got news. Luka Doncic is expected to make his debut tomorrow against the Phoenix Suns. Luka Doncic has not played so far during preseason. The Lakers, want to ease him into it. Obviously, he went and played in Eurobasket. They don't want to just hey, here is jumping right into a bunch of games, playing 20 minutes or whatever. Obviously, you want him to get as many reps as possible, kind of start to build some chemistry with this team. Lakers have 3 preseason games left. They have this Phoenix Suns game, then they have a back-to-back against Dallas, which is crazy, and then they have the Portland Trail Blazers game. The plan, based on the report, is that the Luka Doncic and even Marcus Smart, we don't have a word on Marcus Smart yet, but Marcus Smart is expected to play at least 2 out of the 3 games, which I highly doubt that they're going to play in the back-to-back against Dallas. So this appears to be, it will be Luka Doncic for the Phoenix Suns game and then likely the Portland game. Those are the 2 games that I believe he'll end up playing because, again, I don't think JJ's going to have him play back-to-back. Marcus Smart, I'm curious to see if he'll end up playing this game or if, Luka will play the Suns game and then Smart will play the Dallas game, and then both guys will play the Portland Trailblazers game. Or if they just both play the Phoenix game, everyone sits for the Dallas game, and then they play the Portland game. This is exciting on several levels, but before I dive into the excitement, I do want to say I'm curious to see how much will Luka actually play. That's something else we got to keep in mind, right? Is he going to play 30 minutes or 25 minutes or whatever, right? Is he going to play, the first half? Is he just playing the first quarter? At least at the time of recording this video, I'm sure we'll get that information. I'll do, a breakdown video leading into the game tomorrow. Hopefully we have that information by then. But even if we don't, my guess is that he'll probably play around 20 minutes, 20, 25 minutes. I don't think he's going to play full game minutes. Right? And, JJ Redick's going to want him to go out there and just kind of coast. It's really hard to do, right? It's not going to be easy for Luka to just go, I'm just going to have-ass it out here, right? He's going to want to give 110%. He's going to want to play as well as possible. He's going to want to kind of show up and ball out and, have that connection, start to build those relationships and all those things. And I'm excited for that. Right, he's had some practices with the Lakers, but you also, especially with LeBron expected to miss, potentially the first 10 games of the season, you need Luka, right? And you're going to need Luka to be very healthy. I love that we got the first win, but like I've said in all of these breakdown videos and stuff, I care less about the wins and losses. Right? I care about the minutes in which the players that truly matter are there. RJ Davis, for example, has been fantastic. I love what we're seeing from RJ Davis. But what he's doing out there on the basketball court is not as important and significant right now as, say, a Dalton Connect or an Austin Reeves or a Rui Hachimura or a Jake LaRavia, right? The guys that are actually going to be in the rotation. I love seeing what guys like RJ Davis are doing and the potential that's there. Nick Smith Jr. even, right? He's a guy that I really think could be a Lou Williams type for us, maybe even this season if Lakers end up pulling off some type of trade. But in the reality, I really care about the top, 8 to 10 guys that we know are going to be a part of the rotation, that are going to get the significant minutes. Those are the guys that I want to see. How do they play? How are they operating? How are we looking on the defense side of things, the offense side of things? I really liked what we saw in that, in that Warriors game, the second Warriors game, the one that we won. Thought you saw a much more crisp Lakers team, right? They were better on defense. They were smoother on offense. I mean, they put up 126 points. Right? Think about it. 126 points for a team that was missing their 2 best scorers, playmakers, and offensive engines, and Austin Reeves only played half the game. So, again, Lakers are going to be a very good offensive team, but it's everything else, putting the entire package and picture together. And now Luka Doncic being back, this is great for the Lakers, right? Because now Luka can start to get some actual in-game reps, right? It's one thing to do it in practice and little scrimmages and stuff. It's another thing to do it in real-time basketball, right? And again, you don't want him to go too hard. You don't want him to overexert himself. You don't, knock on wood. You don't want him to get hurt or anything like that. We saw with Austin Reeves. Right? Luckily, that was just being cautious preseason type thing. So that's good. But, you want to see Luka just go out there, just, get a couple shots up, get your game legs under you, get the pace and the speed down a little bit, right? Make some plays, build that relationship, build that connection. I'm really excited, genuinely excited to see DeAndre Ayton. Look, DeAndre Ayton has been fantastic for the Lakers so far. He is and looks fully bought in. He's bought in on the defensive side of things. He's been excellent in that regard. The score he had his best game. I mean, really stuffed the stat sheet last game against the Warriors. All of that. I love that. But we've seen his, the frustrations with the lack of playmaking. Austin Reeves has tried to find him a couple times, but the passes just, again, it's not something Austin Reeves does regularly. So, he's had a couple kind of just, mistimed throws and stuff. They're going to have to build that timing and that relationship down. Where Luka, I mean, that's what he does, right? He knows exactly where to put it, exactly how to put it, because that's constantly an outlet for him, right? Luka likes to break down, get into the teeth of the defense, collapse the defense, easy lob threat to the dunker spot, right? It's the timing. It's when that defender makes that move or makes that decision. If he doesn't make that decision, boom, stopping on a dime, pulling up. When he does make that decision, he actually commits, easy lob threat. You see, Reeves, the guy hasn't really quite made that decision yet. Reeves is trying to throw it up, and DeAndre Ayton's, got to go up and get it or, try to salvage the play to an extent. So I just think DeAndre Ayton, he hasn't shown any frustrations, but if you've watched these games, it's like, I can imagine he's like, okay, Luka's coming, right? Like that would be me. I'd be sitting there just like, okay, take a deep breath. It's fine. Luka will be here and everything will be normal, right? So I'm really excited to kind of see that two-man game in particular and the way that they're going to be able to build on that because, again, I believe that that's going to be the best two-man game in all of basketball. Last year it was Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren. I think it's going to be DeAndre Ayton and Luka Doncic this season. I just think that two-man game is just going to be so lethal. And again, it's Luka's favorite outlet, which is why I've talked about, I think DeAndre Ayton just naturally could become the third option just because Luka's going to have the ball in his hand so much. I wouldn't be surprised. I think realistically, DeAndre Ayton's in that like 15 to 18 range, somewhere in there. I wouldn't be shocked if it's like 14, give or take, right? Maybe he's 14 and 12 just on like 70% true shooting or something crazy like that, right? Like, to me, I think it'll be, in that range, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's a 20-point, a 20 and 10 guy because Luka's feeding him, an extra 2 or 3 baskets a game that he's not getting right now. And the guy without Luka is a minimum 14-point a game guy. Again, you look at his numbers with Chris Paul, he's basically an 18 and 11 guy. You add in Luka, I think he's going to be easily, 18 and 11 again, if not pushing into those 20s. It's just, where does he kind of rise to the top, right? Does he rise to where he's just clearly the fourth option, or does he rise to where it's just like, no, that's Luka's favorite target, so he just naturally becomes the fourth option? But everyone in general, right? Luka is the engine. He is your offensive, just, driving force, right? How does everyone else operate in orbit around him? Lakers have looked amazing offensively and have done put up 126 points, all of that, right? But everything's going to be so much easier with Luka Doncic. Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, Jake LaRavia, Jared Van, all these guys, they're going to have such an easier time because Luka's going to draw and attract so much attention. Right? And he's going to get to his spots. He's going to hit guys right in their shooting pocket. He's going to get guys, guys are going to be running their actions alongside of him and moving without the basketball. And he's just going to pick teams apart. This is what he does. Right? So to think that, Luka Doncic isn't going to just solve and mask a lot of these Lakers issues and concerns and questions, of course he will. Right? He's going to, you got to think, half of these games we haven't played with a real playmaker. Like Austin Reeves, though he's played 2 games, right? In one of the games, he just was a scorer. He wasn't really moving the ball the way that, this last game, we saw him trying to get others involved, still dropped 20, but you saw him making plays, making reads, things like that. So, you get Luka back, and you look at how the offense has been without Luka, just wait. Like I said, I believe this team without LeBron James is a playoff team. Right? I think that they're good enough to be, anywhere in, that 5-6 seed, somewhere in that range. But, again, LeBron, we're not better without. And two, there's a difference between being like the 5th or 6th seed and you're the 2 or 3 seed and a real title contender, right? LeBron, like, I think the Lakers are very good at the game of basketball. We've seen Luka do more with less. I think the Lakers will be one of the top teams. However, I think LeBron is the difference between you being like, hey, this team is a very good basketball team, or this team now is a true contender. But we'll also see, right? Like, this is the Lakers' kind of evaluation time. You're going to get probably 10 games to where they're going to get to see Luka, Austin Reeves, DeAndre Ayton, and Rui Hachimura, Jared Vanderbilt, Jake LaRavia, all these guys, and see, like, is this team good enough? Again, big difference between this team being, 8-2 to 5-5 or 2-8. Right? Like, big differences. Lakers are 8-2 through their first 10 games, and Lakers look like they're just, one of the best teams in all of basketball. That bodes really well. You add in LeBron James, all of a sudden it's like, again, this team could very well be hoisting the Larry O'Brien. But if they're 2-8, it's like, okay, maybe we are looking to trade Rui Hachimura. Maybe we are looking to trade Austin Reeves. Maybe we do need to tear this down. Maybe LeBron does want to get out of here, right? Like there's a lot of different ways that this could go, depending on how this all kind of plays out. But we'll kind of see, right? I'm excited. I'm again curious to see how many minutes does Luka actually play, how many minutes does, or how big of a role does he play, how hard does he play, but just to be able to see the new and improved, transformed Luka, everything he does, we're all going to be like, this is everything, right? Like, and look, I've said it, I think Dallas is going to have a very long season. Right, there's already the Anthony Davis talk with Dallas fans and stuff. Just wait till Luka is the best player in the league this year, winning MVP. And it's going to be a long season for them. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? If you have any thoughts, you excited that Luka Doncic is back? Let me know. Either way. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. Helps me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.